you deleted most of your content on all your platforms. Why did you do that?
I was trying to get closer to my religion, and I took this major step towards changing my content. I always had this little timeline in my mind. After I get married, or after this happens or that happens, I'll begin. You can never actually be ready to start. You just have to take that step.
There's no right time.
There's no right time. I thought I'll just show them that my skin is not perfect. This is how I get to where I am. I wax my facial hair.
You had a very tragic incident. What had happened?
A car came and hit me. I almost died. I urge every woman to try and be financially independent. This is a very important aspect that every woman should have in her mind. Take some time out of your day for yourself only.
Welcome to Women of Wonder by Reema Mahajan, or Wow Women as we lovingly call it. This is our initiative to bring to you stories of empowered and ambitious women so that we can all take inspiration from them. I'm your host Reema, and today we have an amazing fashion, lifestyle and makeup content creator on the show. She has over 1 million followers across her platforms, whether it's Instagram, YouTube and TikTok, and she's here to show her amazing tips and tricks. Welcome to the show, Manal.
Thank you so much, Reema. It's such a pleasure to be here.
It's lovely to host you here, but I want to start with one of the stories which touched me a lot. A year ago, you deleted most of your content on all your platforms. Why did you do that?
So basically, I started wearing the hijab, and it's one of this important aspect in our religion. And I was trying to get closer to my religion. And I just made this decision to start covering, and I took this major step towards changing my content. And one of the major steps that I took was archiving and deleting most of my videos and content where a lot of fashion and hair is going on. So I just managed to delete most of them. And now I'm just posting new content regarding, modest fashion and how I'm styling my hijab and things like that. And that was just one of the biggest turnover in my career. And it's been amazing so far.
So the day you decided to pivot, right? And when one morning when your followers wake up and they suddenly notice the amazing, beautiful content that you've created, and I followed your journey over the year, disappeared. What kind of messages did you get in your inbox?
Honestly, I'm so blessed that I have a very supportive community. I've built an amazing audience over the years, and they have seen every single journey I've been through, and they've always been supportive regardless of what I do. And when I started wearing the hijab, I've gotten the most amazing response from them. So they were really supportive, and the video that I made talking about why I started wearing the hijab went so viral. Everyone was taking so much inspiration from it. And I never even thought that this was going to inspire women, because I just thought I'm just sharing my journey. That's how my Instagram is. I'm always talking about my journey. But it ended up inspiring girls to start wearing their hijab, and they also are getting inspired to start their journey. So I think it has been an amazing experience overall.
So your journey of wearing hijab is your connection with the divine Lord, right? What would you say to other women who want to take that step but are thinking about doing it or not doing it? What's your message to women who are on the fence?
It is a personal choice, and it is also a bit of a touchy topic because, it's your religion, and most of us, we can't really impose our decisions, especially when it comes to hijab. It has to come. You can't force it on anyone. I was never forced, and I just took this decision when I wanted to. But it is one of the orders from our God, and the earlier you do it, the better it is, because when we die, we don't want to have that kind of regret. And honestly, me personally, I always had this little timeline in my mind. After I get married, or after this happens or that happens, I'll begin. So you can never actually be ready to start wearing it. There's always going to be those doubts in your mind. Oh, I'm going to do it later, after this. But you just have to take that
There's
step.
no right time.
There's
right?
no right time.
The time is now if you want to.
And if you're thinking about it, it means it's somewhere there in your mind. So might as well just go for it. Take baby steps. Don't go all in. Maybe it's too hard for you in the beginning. Start covering slowly if it's something super new for you. But eventually you'll get there, and you're going to love that experience once you begin.
So I follow you on your Instagram, and I noticed that you're very authentic. You will share your wins with the audience, but you also share your you cry, or you would share when you're feeling low, you're not having the best days?
So I have always actually tried to show me myself as how I truly am. Honestly, even when I started my Instagram, I didn't even know I was becoming an influencer or a fashionista or whatever they call it. I just thought I'm sharing my content. So I always have continuously shared my journey. I've always been real raw and authentic, and I never really talked about anything that's not me. And if there's something that I don't want to show it to the public, I just don't talk about it. But usually I talk about everything, whether it's so recently I had an issue like a few years ago. I talked about PCOS, and a lot of girls struggle with it. So these are certain things that I always talk about, and I try my best to be authentic. And I think that's one of the main reasons girls connect with me.
So speaking about authentic experiences, Manal, one of the things which went really viral was your videos on hair care removal and on your face, and you documented your journey. Talk to us about that one.
That's actually a very key moment in my career, I would say. This was one random day. So I used to post content almost every single day. And I used to think of ideas like, what am I going to post today? I used to get a lot of compliments on my skin. This was back in 2018. And this was like my second year of being a content creator. And people used to ask me for my skincare routine, like, how do I have the skin? And I thought I'll just show them that my skin is not perfect. This is how I get to where I am. So I decided to record a video showing how I wax my facial hair. I thought nothing about it. I thought this is like common because I have it. A lot of girls have it. And I personally know girls who had it. I posted, and literally in 2 days, it goes so viral, reaches like 3 million people. And this is back in 2018 when viral was not so common. And girls connected with me so much. I got messages from Mexico, from Spain, and I don't know from which part of the world. Girls were like, we never thought anyone would ever talk about something like this. And we thought we had some issues. But since a public figure like you showed it on screen, we feel like, our thing is validated. So that was like an eye-opener for me that, wow, like I am someone who girls can look up to now. And they don't feel like, oh, we have an issue.
It's normal and girls do it, right?
And then after that, I feel like I opened this gateway for every girl to talk about it so openly. Literally, then everyone talks about how shaving is okay for your face.
We all wax, we all
Exactly.
shave, right? But we don't share and we don't talk about it.
So that has been like one of my key moments. And I think that adds to my being authentic self. And then I also talked about laser hair removal and then threading. I've shown every single hair removal, technique I've used, and I've posted about it. And girls till date ask me questions about how does laser work and things like that. So it has been great.
Amazing. And you're a very global influencer, isn't it? You get messages from Mexico and all over the world. There's another global influencer in the beauty and fashion world is Huda Beauty, right? And I remember Huda Beauty had reshared one of your videos. How did that happen?
So when I first started my Instagram journey, I actually started it because of Huda Beauty.
Oh, is that your inspiration?
She is my inspiration. She's one of the reasons I am where I am today. And all credit goes to her. I've always talked about it. I took one of her master classes. And then from there on, I took that makeup. I took all the tips from her makeup class and started posting. And in my head, I had one goal. I need Huda to put me on her PR list.
Right.
And eventually repost me. And it came true, I think, in a few months, actually, like 10 months of posting constantly. She reposted one of my videos where I'm using her makeup products. And then that's where I was shocked at how much influence she has. After she reshared one of my makeup tutorial, it made me gain like 30,000 followers in like 3 days.
That is so amazing, isn't it?
And it has been a crazy experience since then. And then obviously they have also grown massively since 2018. And now they do events in Dubai, and they kind of like personally know me, the whole Katan sisters. And it's like a full circle moment for me, like where I started from, and now they know me as a content creator. So it has been such a like, I'm like kind of living my dream. I didn't even know this was possible, but alhamdulillah, like everything's from God's grace.
I'm sure that you're the first one who gets their PR kit.
I mean, yeah, definitely, yeah.
So we love your skin and we love your makeup, Manal. So can you share some of your top 3 makeup tips with our followers here?
I would say the first and foremost tip is A lot of girls till now in this day and age don't go for their actual foundation shade. They try to go for a lighter complexion. They want to look whiter. It's a bit controversial, but I would say please choose your own foundation shade. You need to match your neck. Don't go lighter than what it is. Just choose the exact same foundation shade. You will look beautiful with now, like companies like Fenty Beauty and all these brands are coming out with 60 foundation shades. So you have your shade out there. Don't go for the whitest one. Go for your shade. Yeah. This is one.
Also, fair is not lovely these days,
Exactly,
right? I think there was a time in 80s or 90s you would say fair and lovely.
Right.
But I think that's not true anymore.
Everyone wants to go tan, and tan is beautiful. So like just love yourself the way you are. Whether you're white or tan, you just have to love yourself. That's really important. So go for your own foundation shade. Otherwise, you don't want to look gray. Less is more. So try to build up your product. Don't go for like all over, just top kind of. And blend, like this is tip number 3. Yeah. Blend slowly, like take your time with it. Literally like massage the product in. And skin prep is important.
Tell me your top 3 tips. Your skin is glowing, by the way. Let me compliment you. But tell me your top 3 tips for skin prepping.
Firstly, skin prep comes from the inside. So you want to make sure your diet is on point. If you are not taking care of your water intake, no, it's not going to work. Definitely, I know a lot of people don't drink enough water. It shows on the skin. Acne comes out, breakouts and things like that. So water is super important. Oily foods also kind of play a role in like breakouts. So try to minimize it. I know it's hard, but that. And then the other skin prep thing is sunblock. Sunscreen is so important. Even though everyone knows about it, no one really applies it.
We tend to conveniently forget it. Like I know sunscreen is important. I don't know SPF 50 or 40 I should be putting, but I think it's not a part of the routine, which it should be.
Which it should be, definitely. And the earlier you start taking care of your skin, the better it's going to be. So I honestly started since I turned 16. So it has been a constant journey and my skin was never like this. I have taken my time. So I have done everything. Drinking water, working out. When you sweat, it removes toxins from your body. That's also important. So yeah, just SPF is very, very important. Like that's one of my most important tips for sure.
Girls, don't forget your SPF if you're watching this
and
one.
And it can be SPF 30, 50, no problem.
Right.
Just go for your SPF.
And there's no particular brand you would recommend?
No, everything's good.
Brilliant. So let's move on to the next round, Manal. It's called Direct Dil Se, or the rapid fire round. So we would love to know more about you, the other side of Manal, which you haven't put much on Instagram. Are you ready?
Yes.
Brilliant. What's the most adventurous or daring thing you've ever did or wanted to do?
So I've done something that's crazy. I've gone on the zip line that's in Ras Al Khaimah.
Oh, that's the largest one.
That's the largest. Oh my God. I never thought I would actually be able to do it. Like when I wanted to go, yes, I was crazy interested. And I was like, yeah, I can do it. But when I reached, I got so scared. But I managed to do it. But there's one more crazy thing that I want to do. I want to go skydiving.
It's right next to my place. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's next thing on my bucket list.
Brilliant. What's the most useful or useless skill or talent that you wish you had?
Ooh, useful or useless?
You can choose one.
That's a good one. I can't think, but I would love to know how to cook properly. I'm not the best at cooking.
Okay.
So maybe I would.
So I'm sure your mummy cooks really.
Mom cooks like the best food, and I think
Right.
every girl should have this skill in her. Like you can never have enough skills, and I think I would love to add cooking to my skills.
What is something you've always wanted to try but you've not got a chance to do yet?
So I've always wanted to travel a lot, and I have started traveling here and there slowly. And the moment I started traveling, pandemic hit, and then we couldn't travel for like 1.5, 2 years.
Right.
And now I'm slowly getting back to it. So I want to continue that. I want to like travel the world, experience all these cultures that the world has to offer.
Have you traveled solo, by the way, yet?
I've always traveled solo.
Brilliant.
So the first time I ever traveled was traveling solo, and I went to London, and it was one of the like best experiences ever. Right. So traveling solo, I highly recommend to girls, but be safe.
If you were stranded on a deserted island, what are the 3 things you would take along with you?
Can I take a person with me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take my mom with me.
So she can always cook the good food. So you've got the food is sorted if mommy is there, right?
Mom is there. I have everything. Yeah. What else? I'll take my phone with me so I can be connected to the world. So it needs to have a SIM, definitely. Drinking water, because I think we can't I don't want to drink the sea water. So drinking water, yeah.
If you could swap places with any celebrity for a day, who would it be?
It can be dead or alive.
Yeah, it can be dead or alive.
Wow, that's a good one. I honestly don't really have such an I don't really look up to any celebrity like that I would want to live their life, honestly. But I would love to meet Michael Jackson. I used to love him so much, and I would love to know him like that. And Muhammad Ali, the boxer.
I think they have their own inspirational
Yes.
journeys. What's your guilty pleasure or guilty watch when it comes to movies and TVs?
Watching Netflix. I prefer crime and thriller, things like that. I've been recently watching Black Mirror, and oh my god, it has blown me away.
Really?
And then my other guilty pleasure is romantic kind of stuff, which is Bridgerton vibes.
What's your favorite hobby or activity besides your work?
I love working out. I love going to the gym, staying active. That's like my favorite hobby to do.
Right. Yeah, I've seen you working out. Yes. What's the best tip or advice you want to give to anybody who wants to follow their passion and pursue a career in the field of fashion?
I would say go for what your heart, like what you believe in. Like if your heart thinks that you can do this and you're actually passionate about it, just go for it. Don't think about what other people are going to say, because that was one of my biggest fear. And if I actually thought about that back then, I don't think I'll be where I am today. You just need to just go for it and be consistent with whatever you do. Just do it from the heart and you will get to where you want to be.
So you've done a lot of brand collaborations, right? Which of them have been your favorite ones, or which? And also, I'll ask a second question: which of them have been the most challenging one to create content for? But let's go for the favorite ones first.
Favorite ones. There have been brands since I'm a makeup influencer, I always wanted to work with certain brands that I've always wanted, I've always been in love with. Sephora was one of them. So I always loved Sephora. And when I eventually got a chance to work with Sephora, it has been an amazing experience. Most of the makeup brands that I've worked with, it was always like a pleasure. I've even worked with Huda Beauty. So it was really, really nice to work with them.
Which project has been very challenging one for you?
Recently in Ramadan, there was a shoot that we had to do for Eid. So obviously Eid is right after Ramadan, and we shot this while fasting.
Wow.
It started in the morning in the heat, and it was really, really hot, and I was fully covered just like this. And oh my God, I was so thirsty by the end of the day. That shoot took 8 hours, and it was all outdoors. It was crazy, but it was rewarding. Honestly, I love working because I think as much as our job is very rewarding and people think it's easy, it's not. But alhamdulillah, it was a very nice experience to do outdoor work. But usually most of our work is indoors. Sometimes outdoor is nice too.
And you touched on that, right? People think it's easy. Photo dal do, Instagram pe chal jayega. Tell me how true that is.
I honestly wish it was that easy, but it's not. First of all, I am not more of a photo posting person. I'm more of a video posting person since day one. So overall, anyway, posting videos, shooting, editing is not an easy job. Anyone cannot do it. You need to have that little mindset to actually put in that work. And I'm my own editor, producer, model, everything. So all of that takes time, effort, money. It's not that easy, and you have to really work every single day to reach that point you want to achieve. So it's not easy at all, but I wish it was.
What does a typical day look like in Manal's life?
My day is not like a regular 9 to 5 job because my work is from home. So I do everything at home. I wake up, I have 2 cats, so I take care of the cats, I feed them, and then I do my prayers and things like that. And then I start working on my content. I have different days for different content. One day I will shoot for, let's say, Instagram and then TikTok and YouTube. And then the other days, I also try to manage my mom's business. She has her own business. We recently started almost a year ago, and I help her with that. So I create content for that page as well. It's a prayer dress. It's a very nice, modest clothing. You can just, pack that prayer dress and take it with you anywhere, wherever you want to travel. So I work on that side by side, and then go to the gym, come back home. Obviously eating is there. And then, and then on weekends, I try and really not to work too much. I just spend time with my friends, family, and then back to it.
And I remember, Manal, you had a very tragic incident and you were almost about to die. What had happened, basically?
I've not really talked about it much. I just recently started talking about it. This happened before I started my Instagram. Let's say end of 2015 or 16. I was crossing the road with my mother, and then a car came and hit me. It was crazy, and I almost died. My mom saw everything, so she's still traumatized from crossing roads till date. what happened was the car didn't actually see me crossing the road, and he just came and hit me. And then I stayed in the hospital for like 21, 25 days.
Oh my God.
Couldn't walk. It was crazy. And I had a brain injury. So apparently, alhamdulillah, there was no brain clotting. That's why I survived. But there was really no chance of surviving. It was kind of like a miracle. So I think my mom's or someone's prayers got answered. You really never know whose prayers get answered. But yeah, so I survived that. Since it was a brain injury, it took me really long to like get over it and then, heal. So during that period, I was like in a very depression phase. I don't know if I couldn't call it depression, but I was in a very low phase. And that's when I started like discovering Instagram, and I wanted to get into this industry. And then I ended up starting, my page.
Well, we are thankful for all the prayers and blessings that got you over the hump, essentially. But yeah, I think maybe something good happened, and the silver lining was you discovered Instagram and you are what you are today that we look up to.
As Muslims, like we have this belief that everything happens for a good reason. Like we have to be grateful no matter how bad the tragedy is. Like back then, maybe I was like, what is this? Like, why does this happen? But everything happens for a reason. And eventually, if maybe that didn't happen, I wouldn't have reached this point. So we need to be grateful for every instance in our life.
You're a beautiful person. You've just seen the positive out of a brain injury. That's beautiful. It's been brilliant talking to you, Manal. And we got to know a lot more about you. We have this Women of Wonder hamper for which you won, all thanks to our rapid fire round. This is a really special hamper because we have 5,000 women entrepreneurs on our community, and each of the things in this hamper that you see, right from the candles to the essential oils, everything comes from a women entrepreneur trying to become self-sufficient and independent.
I love
that. So driven by women of IWD. We'll keep that for you. Thank you so much. We have a lot of women watching this show, Manal. What are your words of wisdom to everyone watching this?
I urge every woman to try and be financially independent. I think this is a very important aspect that every woman should have in her mind. No matter how much your husband earns or your father earns, whatever it is, try to find something that you actually love. Maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's a skill that you have, and try to monetize it in a way. Try to make an earning out of it, because you need to have some sort of income for yourself. So just go for it. And then also, please love yourself. Try doing something that's something that you actually love. So take some time out of your day for yourself. Us as women, we're very nurturing and very caring towards everyone else but ourselves. So it's very important to take some time out of the day for ourselves. Just disconnect with everyone else and do something for yourself. And that's actually going to heal everything in you. So these two things, very important.
So be financially independent and spend some time on self-care. Those are the amazing words of wisdom from our guest today. I think it was a brilliant conversation. I really enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe to our channel. And we'll be back again with another Women of Wonder very, very soon. Namaste.